What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be going through all 4 of the Clone Wars era GA maps, and I'm going to be covering a few helpful flanks and jump spots to help you guys avoid a bit of traffic and get behind your enemies a whole lot easier. Obviously, Galactic Assault is very linear, so sometimes it can be pretty hard to actually get into the areas that you need to be, and so hopefully this video, as well as the follow-up ones for the OT and the sequel maps, can help you guys out. So we're going to be starting off with Kashyyyk. I've just gone through these maps in order of pretty much how they show in arcade, and the first clip that I'm going to show is actually not a jump spot, but I'm going to show you guys how to actually jump further and a little bit higher as well. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of YouTubers doing this, a lot of people just in games as well, swinging their saber in midair, and it probably looks like they're just doing it because it looks cool or something like that, but it actually does make you go a little bit further, so I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So I've lined myself up with this sort of pole thing sticking out of the ground here, and I'm going to sprint and jump, and you'll see exactly how far I can go. So it landed right there, sort of in between the pole and that sort of pillar on the wall, and I've just marked a little thing with the saber there, and then we're going to go back, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to swing in midair, and you're going to see the insane difference. So you can see I made it all the way to that sort of next pillar in that wall there, and as you can see by the markings, that is a pretty big difference from just swinging my lightsaber. So that is pretty much why a lot of people do that. I do that pretty much every time I jump. It's just become habit at this point because it does actually help a lot more than you'd think. I'll show an example right here for what I mean. If I try and jump up onto this little walkway, you can see that I kind of hit it with my face there and just missed out. If I tried again, even aiming for that one on the left and not hit the actual thing first, you can see I still just can't make it. Now if I go back up there and this time actually swing the saber in midair, then as you'll see I'll get up there straight away on the first attempt. And so I thought I'd just share that because you will see me doing it a lot throughout the video, and I thought just to answer any questions, that is exactly why I'm doing that. So getting into the first actual jump spot, it's nothing crazy if I'm going to be honest, but it is still helpful either way. So on the left over here, if you actually want to, you can jump up onto the Juggernaut, and not only does it help for this left side, but you can pretty much see the whole map from here. And so it is always a good idea to come up here and just sort of assess the situation, see where the enemies are, and if it's, you know, if one way is too dangerous, maybe you have to go the other way or something like that. Now you can get up here from the other side as well. Again, this one's pretty obvious, this is nothing crazy, but I don't actually see that many people come up here honestly, other than maybe a few jet troopers. So I thought I'd show this one anyway, and there is another way to get up here from sort of the more like middle of the map. I'll show you guys that as well. It is a little bit harder, or it's not necessarily hard, but it's not as simple, but it can also help if you're in a bit of trouble. So you jump up onto this wheel here, and then you jump up onto this little lip there, and then from there you are up as well. Now you can also get there from the sort of the wheels at the other end as well. So if you just jump up onto this wheel here, you can jump up, and then I think you could probably make that jump, but it's probably safer to go to that wheel and then jump into that sort of gap. So you can pretty much get up here from all sides, and like I said, it is a really good sort of vantage point. You're not going to do much damage up here or anything like that, but it is still helpful to just sort of assess the situation. Now the same thing can actually be done from this other Juggernaut over here as well. This one, again, it's not really a jump spot because that's a pretty obvious jump, but you can get up here again, and it is a really good way to just, yeah, assess the situation. You can sort of plan your attack, and then from here you can essentially just go into things much better prepared than you would otherwise. Now, if maybe you can't get on from that front end or something, you can actually get up here from the sides as well. You'll see that little sort of attachment on the side of the Juggernaut there. If you just jump onto that, once you get up there, then it's obviously just another little jump, and you are up the top again. The same does work from the other side as well. If you just come down here to these wheels, jump up onto the first wheel, and then again that little sort of attachment on the side there, one more jump, and again you are up the top. So like I said, this is a good little vantage point. You're not going to get that many kills or anything up here, but it is a good way to just pretty much plan your attack going forward. Now just over to the left of where we just were, there's this little pad that you can actually jump onto as well, and again this isn't really going to do that much for you, but you can avoid the traffic that's going to be underneath you. There's pretty much always going to be someone defending this, so if you are playing as a saber user and you are on the left side of the map, there's pretty much no reason not to use that. There's always going to be someone sort of underneath those pads, and so you can just jump up there and pretty much get behind them without them even knowing, and then from there you've cleared the way for your teammates, and then the rest of your team can pretty much push up. Now, for the last one for Kashyyyk, this is to do with the Juggernauts, and most of the time that you're going to be running into the Juggernauts, most people are going to come up the stairs, and it's not necessarily a bad way, but there's always going to be someone sort of defending the stairway. Now, if you actually just jump down here, and again, this is pretty obvious, but just keep in mind that this is for sort of newer players. If you want to get up there a little bit stealthier, then you can just jump onto the wheel, and because those people are going to be looking at the stairway, you can jump up onto that ramp and pretty much kill them without them even seeing you. They're going to you know, they're not going to be looking at you from the side. So you can clear out that room pretty easily. And say you do get in trouble, another good thing you can do is actually just jump down from here onto the wheel, and then you can kind of take cover and let your health regen. They might be able to see you on the minimap, but they're not going to have a direct line of sight on you, as long as you're blocking as well, because some people can see you from, say, underneath or whatever. But that is a good little tactic as well. If you do get in a bit of trouble, to just jump off the side onto that wheel. Now, next up we have Kamino, and as for the Saber heroes, there's not really too many jump spots that I could find, but there are a lot of flanking routes for just your regular troopers. So I'm going to go through a couple of those, and honestly, those are probably some of the more useful tips in this video. So straight off the bat as the droids, obviously you spawn out in this sort of big landing pad area, and most people are going to sprint pretty much straight towards the middle of the map, where you can see here, and it's pretty much just a big chaotic battle straight off the bat. Now, it's not necessarily the bad way to go, you are going to get a lot of battle points pretty quickly. But in my opinion, there is actually a much better way to go. So when you go through this main area, you're actually going to turn left here, and there is a doorway here, and this is going to start you on this little flank. Now, most people are going to go down these stairs. The issue is that there's always going to be a sniper just pretty much past those crates. They're going to be just waiting for you to come around the corner. So what you want to do to avoid those snipers is you can actually come back up here, and this may take you a few attempts. I usually can get it the first go on PS4, but I'm a little bit rusty on the keyboard and mouse. You pretty much just jump over that little lip, and then once you get in here, they can't actually see you. Sometimes there will be snipers sort of just ahead of you, but it's very rare. Not many people actually know that this is an optional way to go. Now, you'll come to this wall, and again, you just got to jump over this little lip, and then once you're behind here, you can kill those snipers that would have been sitting there, or you can just go inside and pretty much take out the enemies. Now, what I usually do is I'll turn right in here, and there's going to be maybe 3 or 4 enemies in here most of the time. Usually you can take 2 or 3 of them out, and then once you run out of there, that door is going to shut. After that, I'll then come this way. I always look left because there are going to be enemies spawning. You can kind of take them out before they even know that you're there. And then once you've taken a few of them out, you can come into this sort of main area. And remember, you're going to be behind pretty much all of your enemies. Now, you'll take a few of them out and they will sort of be onto you. And at that point, you are almost guaranteed to die. But the thing is, you would have taken out, say, 5 or 6 of your enemies. And then that's going to make it a lot easier for your teammates. Now, another way to get sort of into this second phase, a lot of people will go into that door that I just shot at. But if you want to get to the right side of the map instead, you can come all the way around here, and you're instantly going to be on the right side of the map without any danger. You can either go and capture that landing pad, or if you want to help your teammates, you can try and take out a few of these guys in the middle, because like I said, no one's going to be really set up, and they're not going to be expecting you to come from this side so early. Now, moving on to the third phase, let's just say you want to take out this barracks on the right here. Most people are going to run sort of up to this main doorway, and it is, you know, it's generally going to be pretty chaotic. There's going to be maybe 4 or 5 enemies defending it, and because it's such a tight area, it's pretty easy to just get trapped, and a lot of the time it's going to be you and like 5 teammates just standing here shooting. Now, if you want to get around them, you can actually go all the way around here to the right. There is a door there, usually that's shut, but it's just because it's arcade that it's open. And then, as I said, you can get behind them and pretty much take them all out and, yeah, help your team get through into this barracks. Now, as for the left side of the map, obviously most people are going to come to this sort of main doorway here, and then if you want to flank, most people are going to go down onto these stairs. The thing is, there's always going to be a couple of people in the actual hangar here, and it's, you know, it's not necessarily that hard to get in, but it's definitely not easy either. Now, this is pretty obvious, but I actually never really see anyone do this, and to be honest, I never really do it either, but you can actually just come all the way around here to the left. It's not really like it's out of the way anywhere. There might be a couple of people up there that might see you, but for the most part, you should be fine, and if you can get all the way around here, then no one's going to really expect you to come from this side of the map. Now, from here, you can just sort of push into the hangar and try and get around behind their spawn. And as you can see, you can kind of just get all the way through here. You do need to, up on the left here, there is a spawn point. You need to watch that, because if you just run in, there might be someone spawn behind you. But if you take any of them out, then you should be pretty free. And then once you're in here, you're actually behind all your enemies. And again, it's a really easy way to just take them all out and let the rest of your teammates get in here as well. Now, next up on the list is Naboo, and for Naboo we have one for the Saber users and then one for the regular troopers as well. So the first one is sort of in the middle section of the first phase, and if you head over here to the left, most people are going to go around that corner there, but you can actually jump up onto this sort of little bridge thing. I'm not really sure what this thing is, but it's a pretty safe place up here, and then if you jump down here, usually you're going to get behind a couple of your enemies as well. Now, it does also work both ways, so you can jump up from this side as well, and so it does work for both the dark side and the light side, no matter which side of the map you're on. Now, as for the trooper one, if you are playing as the droids and you're moving on to this second phase, these stairs are obviously the most popular way to go, but the thing is they can be pretty dangerous. There's always going to be a lot of people watching those stairs, so rather than going all the way around and coming back up the main stairs, you can just jump onto this little bush here and then you can jump across there, and then pretty much you're just going to catch a lot of enemies off guard, especially the ones who are staring at that stairway. Now, lastly for this video, we do obviously have Geonosis, and Geonosis is a pretty linear and pretty flat map for the most part, so there's not really too many jump spots, but I did find one little flank for the clones and then another little sort of objective spot for the droids as well. So starting off with the clone one, and from the spawn there, if you go all the way to the left here, most people are going to run straight forward there and there's going to be a lot of enemies, but if you jump down onto this little sort of pathway, you can get all the way around to the left here, and then for the most part you should be pretty clear of enemies. They're all going to be looking back down towards the spawn, at which point you can pretty much sneak behind them and just take them out a lot easier, letting your teammates move through as well. Now, as for the droid one, this is actually a really good objective spot. If you jump up onto this rock and then try and make your way around here, you can actually get a really good line of sight on the objective there, and because of that rock to the left of you, you're pretty much covered all the way from the left. And you can even take out a lot of enemies who are sort of progressing towards that objective as well. So this is definitely a nice little spot. I don't really condone camping, but in a do or die situation, if you're going to camp the objective, then I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But that is actually it for all the prequel map jump spots and flanks, or at least the ones that I use regularly anyway. I'm sure I will have missed a whole lot though, so if there are any that I missed, then definitely let me know down in the comments. I am going to be doing a follow-up obviously for the OT maps as well, and trust me guys, you do not want to miss that one, as just Endor alone is probably as helpful as this whole video was, so keep your eyes peeled for that one, and then after that I will combine any that I missed with the sequel maps as well. If you did enjoy the video, then make sure to leave a like down below to help support the channel, and be sure to subscribe with those notifications on so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 videos or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Crush them.